Hey everybody, welcome back to the EQN Sports Desk, all driven by Holiday Auto Group. This is what we've been waiting for. This is, you got a big old smile on your face. Isn't this something? Isn't this something? Amy, you've talked to this guy in the past. Old one shot, one kill over here.
Yeah, we were talking about it being his first time, and I think you should tell the story about your tooth because it's wild.
Yeah, well, I wish it was a better story. I was telling someone that I smarted off to my wife and she smoked me, but nobody believed that because she's the sweetest person alive. We were
believe the other part.
Well, we were just.
They believe the smart off part.
Yeah, no, they for sure believe that. But anyways, we were eating supper and my wife had bought some frozen chocolate covered cherries, and I took one and I bit into it, and I felt or heard a snap, and I thought, interesting, and I bit down gently, and I was like, that's hard, and I spit it out. Right
There's your
my tooth. I thought, you've got to be kidding me.
So you had some bad luck and some really good luck.
Yeah. And so my wife, I told her, I said, it's kind of growing on me. Maybe we shouldn't get it fixed. She's like, no, you're getting it fixed. But now after tonight, it's like, well, do we really need to get it fixed? Might be good luck.
At least now you can afford to get it fixed.
Well,
you can
there
get
you
a diamond one
That's what you said.
I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to interchange them, like have a diamond, a ruby.
That would be pretty cool.
And an emerald.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
All right, Jordan Williams, we got to talk a little bit. There's been guys that have been entering this thing for over a decade. And you told me here a minute ago, you're like, I just thought I'd come and enter this deal and learn something.
Yes, that's very true.
Talk to me about leading up, before you even got here. I want to know the last few months when you sent the check off and said, you know what, I'm entering World's Greatest Horseman.
Well, it all started really 12 years ago when I got into it. And at every moment, God has a plan, and it doesn't always go the way we want. But if you're patient, and all you got to do is continue to have faith and hope that it comes through. That horse has been very, very good. He's the first great horse that I had. And we went to the futurity, and we're sitting really good. Going into the fence work, we were sitting second in the prelims. We didn't get down the fence, and then so we didn't have any luck there. Then he was crippled his whole 4-year-old year. He tore suspensory. And then as a 5-year-old, we made the finals everywhere we went. And we're sitting very good. And pilot error, like I said, all of it's growth. I mean, it's a tough deal when you have a horse like that. And, whether I was ready for him or I wasn't, he was in my barn. And the owners are the most wonderful people that I've ever been able to do business with. And they continue to have faith in me even when I didn't have any faith in myself. And through it, like I said, I've been coming and I've watched it and I've studied it. I grew up cowboying, so the roping event was a little bit intimidating just from the sense of I'd never done it. I've never competed. I've never even team roped competitively.
Seriously?
Yeah, I've never seen
You've
an
never
eye.
backed in the box?
I've never seen an eye. They were telling me what to look for and see a move and all that. Like, all right, yeah, sure.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, like, I'd roped a lot.
Sure.
Outside, and we've done it a lot of it, but I just haven't never done it competitively. So there was some learning curves there as far as the box, learning where to leave, what you look for, all that kind of stuff. But out in the field, I wasn't as concerned about it because, like I said, I had at least done that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I just backed in there. My guys told me look at the base of the left horn and go rope it, and that's all I focused on. And luckily, we got through that. And that horse he's a great horse, and he's been great since the beginning. I just feel very fortunate and blessed that tonight was our night because like you said, there's people that enter for years and hadn't been able to do it, and I just so blessed and fortunate that we were able to come out on top, and that horse has deserved it so many times, and we've fallen short, and so it just feels great that horse finally
Complete the course.
Yeah, finally gets him a big win and a big stage, and I mean, I do it for the horses, and that's the greatest thing. I've loved that horse. I know he's deserved it, and it's just, yeah, it's wonderful feeling to see it finally come through.
That's awesome. Russell, how many times did you enter before you won your first one?
Phew, quite a few.
And then went 3 times in a row or something.
And then just continually beat their pants
yeah,
off.
once you figured it out, like, oh, this is easy.
One thing he didn't win was a ring like this.
No,
so
I didn't.
How about this deal?
Yeah,
huh?
look at that.
He was trying it on earlier because
Yeah. That was pretty sweet.
It's like the Super Bowl ring of our industry.
It is.
right?
Yeah, it's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear you talk about your little boy and how much he loves James Bond.
Yeah, it's funny. So my son's George W. He's 2, just turned 2 February 8th, and he loves this horse. And it's funny, James is kind of quirky about things. I mean, he's friendly, but the little kid, I mean, most of all the horses are looking at him like, what the heck? And James will always meet him at the gate. George always rides him. He wasn't here tonight. He was with the babysitters, but after we got through the prelims, every time we come out, he'd sit up there and ride him. I mean, he loves that horse, and that horse loves him. So it's a cool bond.
That's
for sure.
so awesome.
And he knows the horse. I mean, every time he comes out, he'll just get super excited. It's like, let me ride him, let me ride him. So that's a lot of fun.
That makes it so.
Well, for a stud, he's the best, one of the best minded studs I've ever been around.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so easy.
And how old is he now?
He's 8.
He's 8. He's 8.
And,
How old's your little boy?
he's going to have some 2-year-olds.
Yep, we're starting his babies, and so far I really
you
like
are.
them.
So this his first crop got him right now, huh?
Yes, sir.
And how old's your boy?
He's 2.
2.
Oh, man.
Just like the babies.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just right.
That's
Starting
it.
them 2-year-olds.
That's it.
Well, I tell you what, guys. Should we relive your action?
Let's do it.
You ready
Yeah.
to see what everybody else saw?
Yeah, let's see it. I hadn't got to
Alright.
watch him yet, so that's
All
be
right, here we
exciting.
go. We're going to start off. I think we got some highlights of the rain in to start us. Russell, you were critiquing this all night long. What do you think, pal?
I think that it was a night of carnage, and Jordan Williams was the man with the horse that stuck with him all the way through. And I feel the same way Jordan does. This horse has been ready to win for a long time. And he's so good in the ground
Wow.
right there. All of his stops, you got huge points right there. That was a big help to rein into you. Pretty good turnaround. And
here
then
we
this
go.
part, the death event, stuck it on there. I mean,
And-
jerked
and
a
draw-
knot and
draws a
stopped the
knot.
same way. I mean, stuck it.
Yeah, I don't team rope.
Oh.
Watch this right here.
That's why
I
don't
just
have no
said
bad
that I
habits.
hadn't done it out of the box.
Drags a knot off one right there.
Right. And look at
Oh,
it, how he
man.
stops.
He's a great horse.
That
and
was a
loves
great
that.
run.
Thank you.
And then we got our fence work. Whoa.
Yeah.
He's looking at
Yeah,
this
he was
little-
excited.
Good first turn.
These cows were tough tonight, weren't they, Russell? You talked about that a lot.
Yep. A little tough getting out of that first one, but that switch right
yep,
there,
made it up a
I mean,
lot
made
right
a
there.
lot up. Because that and the fact that second turn was so hard to pull off.
Yeah.
But that switch just accentuated it, and then your circles are good. And it probably, you're wanting to be a 226.
Right, yeah, that's what you're hoping for.
Get away
Because I
from
tell you
them
what,
guys.
any time you've got Chris Dawson lurking in the dark or in the shadows,
Yeah.
With a 2 and
and you leave it open and it's the fence work. I mean,
Yeah.
to be completely fair, I had accepted I was reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because Chris, I mean, he's the master.
Sure.
I mean, I think all of us have studied that guy down the fence. He truly is. He's impeccable. The guy's timing, the way he reads a cow, I mean, it's second to none, truthfully.
Yeah.
And, he just didn't draw the cow he needed tonight, but that horse was awfully good, and congratulations to Chris for
Yeah.
reserve because
Yeah.
he did a phenomenal
Still
job.
$75,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Well, even though I was accepting, I was probably second, I was still pumped. I mean,
Yeah.
goodness gracious. I mean, that's a big payday.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
This deal's, go ahead, Amy.
I was just gonna say, talk more about you went so early on. You know, and then they had the drag.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a long time
I
until
liked
you-
that. So before this deal even began, I looked at my draws and I loved every single draw that I had because Chris may view it differently. He probably loved his draw, but I would rather put the pressure on somebody else and be like,
Then have
golly,
it
hey,
on
all I
you.
got to do is be a 21 and a half, because that's easy to do. You can't predict any of that, and you
Yeah.
can't force any of it. All you can do is work your cow. So
Yeah.
I did feel pretty fortunate that I went when I went, and the cards, they fell the way they fell.
You know, it's kind of funny that how things happen. So, Speed Williams was walking around here a minute ago, and we were talking to Speed. And what Speed Williams used to say back in the day when he was winning his gold buckles is, I'll go ahead and take first out. I'll take the top of the draw because then I put the pressure on them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it was always, versus the hardest thing to do is just catch when all you've got to do is just catch. Okay, you got to ride in. All you got to do is be 70.
That's it.
That's the
Yeah.
hardest thing in the
Yeah,
world to do because you
absolutely.
will let yourself drop
Yeah.
instead of go out and kick to be 76.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's what you
100%.
just, when you got to be 70, well, actually 216 is a harsh number.
Right.
Because it's just, you got to be a
Right
little
there.
bit, but don't risk
But
too
don't-
much. And I got to where when I was in those situations, I try to be a 20 something because so often you lose your feel. When you're just trying to just
Absolutely.
safety up
Yeah,
a little.
100%. When you start trying to safety up, you end up, instead of just reacting to a cow's action, you start trying to anticipate this, that, and the other instead of just going and working a cow. And that's the most crucial thing. And that's what all those guys back there were telling me is like, hey, let's go work a cow. And that's so cool. I mean, this entire group, and even the guys that didn't make the finals, like we're all a family and we're all cheering for each other. And there's just nothing better than that. When your peers, people that you compete against, they come up and tell you congratulations and you can feel how genuine it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the ultimate. I mean, all you can do in this discipline is hope that you can gain respect from your peers. And so, like, when you receive that, there's just nothing. There's nothing greater than that, personally.
Yeah, I think you've already had that, you and James Bond. This just let everybody express it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
well, yeah,
Where
that's
everybody's
cool.
been pulling for you to hit it,
Well,
and here it is.
The reality is, though, you can have people telling you all sorts of things, but until you believe it yourself, it doesn't really matter. And at least that's how I view things. And so, yeah, I mean, I think being able to get the monkey off your back when I won the Derby on the mare back in June, that kind of
Opened
helped
you
me.
up.
Yeah, it's like,
I
okay,
belong.
I can believe.
I
believe in myself. I do belong here. And I think that if you can take that and with your confidence, and I mean, yeah, I was super confident in my horse. You know, like I said, it was my first one, but when you ride a horse like that, I mean, it's like, it's just another day in the office, really. And I don't mean that to be
Right.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you've been there. You've been there with that horse numerous times.
Right.
You've been at
we
the door.
just added one event, and
Yeah.
that was a steer stopping.
Yeah.
Other than that, we've done the
You've
other
done the
many
and
times,
been right
and
there.
He's been competitive.
Been right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you entered the world's greatest on a horse. You're like, I
Yeah,
got
well,
got an
maybe
average
if
horse.
everything
Yeah,
goes
maybe if
just
everything.
right.
Yeah, we might
Right.
end up middle of the pack.
Yeah, no, he's a phenomenal horse.
Yeah.
And has been
Yeah.
his whole career.
So as you got to watch those highlights back for the first time, give us your reaction on how truly special this win is and getting to actually see it.
Anytime I watch videos of that horse, it's exciting because he's so physical. That horse doesn't want to be in trouble. He wants to be good for you. He's so cowy, he's so smart. Sometimes I try to outthink him and cause problems when really if I just
Get
put my
out
hand
of the
down
way.
and- Exactly.
Get out of the way.
That's how it always goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's so cool to watch that horse go to do his job because he's very good at it.
Well, I think there's somebody pretty special right here that we need to get up here, don't you think?
Yeah, let's get her up here.
All right. April. She's going to come right up here. This is the reason we're here. Right over here. Right over here. Come here. Come here. I'm going to. You are right here.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce this lady, Jordan.
This is April Bonds, the owner of James Bond,
One of the owners.
one of the owners.
The world's greatest
Can't
horse.
forget
Yeah,
Joe.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And I have to compliment your earrings. Those look fabulous.
You're a girl after my own heart. Yours, so.
Exactly. So tell us all about James Bond and how this partnership came to be.
So I was contacted about purchasing his dam Shorty's J Ray, and he was actually born during the Super Bowl right before halftime. So those were really. I quit watching the Super Bowl when he was born, and
priorities.
Yeah, priorities.
and so we very quickly we knew he was different, and we knew he was special. And we knew that he could potentially be a program-changing horse. And so we had a guy by the name of Colby Hunt who was working for us at the time, and he started him. But I even remember that very first day under saddle, Colby texted me and said, "You better get out here." And I've got the pictures of us working him in a round pen for the first time. And just the smiles on everybody's faces. We knew he was special, but we also knew we wanted to get with a trainer and we wanted to take him through. We had never had. James is our very first NRCHA horse ever.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
First world's greatest.
Yeah, they're gonna make a movie about this one day.
You're kind
So,
of starting out up there, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, well, where do we go?
Where do
from
we
here?
get?
So I'm sure you realize how truly special this is.
I'm a big believer in setting goals and setting goals for our program that are achievable so that you don't have the disappointment of what the in placing is. But I would have dreams at night And he and I would talk about those dreams and what they could be. And we kept dreaming really, really big for this horse. And so it was really important to us to be able to let him have his moment. And he's had, I mean, I've kind of had a feeling, he's had a feeling. We just, nobody's allowed to talk about said feeling all week because you don't mess with the juju.
Don't want to jinx it.
But you were probably jumping up and down in
speaking
there.
of juju, Pete, he wouldn't even come to horse shows because when we didn't get along, and he believed that he was bad luck.
He was
So a little superstitious.
Yeah, he was. And then I went over there a week before we moved in, and he said, "What day's you showing?" And I told him, and he's like, "How would you feel if I come?" I said, "You need to be there."
Yeah.
It's not, you showing up has nothing to do with our success. Like,
Or
be
not.
there, because
Yeah.
you're going to regret it if you don't. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because, I mean, if he hadn't have been here, he wouldn't be able to spin it. And he was here, and it was great to see the whole
And
family here.
immediately went and sat down in the chair.
In the chair, first thing.
Immediately
Yeah.
went and sat down in the chair. Like
Yeah.
he's getting ready to have back surgery, and but he just walked in and sat down like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yep.
Like, but no, it's so bad that he and my mom would be at our ranch in New Mexico over the summer, and my mom is team Jordan Williams Performance Horses. I mean, there's not a single person in my family that's not just full on stalking him. But
Okay, Miss Joe, I love you too.
But my mom really, truly, I mean, she would sometimes even know what was showing before I would ever even notify anybody that we were getting ready to show. And she would have to go into the other room because my dad didn't even want to hear his runs happening
He
live.
wouldn't even watch it live. He would have to rewind it so he could watch it
So
after.
he could watch it. Yes.
I mean, that's how much he believed in
yes.
it.
And he came to me and he
Now
told
it's
me.
over.
Yeah.
Hey, now you gotta say, well, if you'd have come earlier,
Yeah.
think what we could have won.
Yeah, that's too funny.
That's awesome. So what does this do for your ranch and specifically for him as a stud?
Well, this is the first year we've stood him privately. We definitely have stood him, and we've bred some of our mares to him. We were the type that if somebody approached us and they said, "Hey, we're interested in breeding to your stallion. Are you offering semen to anybody?" And so we would allow him. We would get contracts, and we would collect him and ship the semen. And we've got lots of babies on the ground from some outside people, but we tried to keep numbers small and manageable so that we could, because we knew we still needed to prove him. We knew what we had. And we've been so excited for his babies and for the world to get to see some of these babies, but most of the people didn't get to. We still had to prove him. We hadn't. I mean, we've done well, but we hadn't won, and so hopefully this now kind of makes anybody that was going, I wonder if I should maybe breed to James Bond. It maybe kind of.
You should.
You should.
Yeah. Well, you just went over 285,000 in earnings, and that's not even
Pretty good day.
around. So, yeah.
Well, we were one whole
Sure
hour to
did.
go around, money everywhere, but
We're right there. But the big check count.
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Well, and for us too, this partnership has worked so well. There is no James Bond without Jordan Williams, and there is no Jordan Williams without James Bond. Those two go so hand in hand because it is such a partnership, and getting to see their growth and how they've come together as a team and how they've both grown, and it's helped us be able to do other great things with other horses. And that's what we like, the size of our program. We want Jordan and all the people around us to continue to get into ride really great horses, and it just kind of solidifies that Jordan's really excited to get to ride even more of these babies that we've got coming up. So no pressure, kiddos.
Yeah.
But
Well, what a story. First time NRCHA horse for your ranch. First time entered here at World's Greatest Horseman, and now the
Cinderella
winner's
story.
$150,000 and
Yeah.
the
It's
prestigious
amazing.
title.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
You didn't even have a bridle, and you won one.
I know. That was
And
the
then
first one.
started showing in
I
it
break the
just
news. I
in
didn't use
time.
it. I didn't use it here, but I did use it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned setting goals. What's the next goal?
what's crazy is we actually achieved a dream tonight.
Yeah.
So now there might be a little bit of a recalibration.
Yeah, there's a blank sheet.
Yeah, we're gonna
that one.
Yeah, erase the board, start over.
But I think the big thing is we just keep keep doing what we do. I
Yeah.
love breeding horses. I love breeding ranch horses, and I love breeding performance horses. I love getting to have performance horses that can go be on the ranch, and ranch horses that can hopefully come into the show pen, and keeping the fundamental of this cowboy way of life and the cowboy lifestyle that we get to see in a very special display in an arena like this, and just getting to keep doing that and doing it with more people and doing it with, we've got such a great team of people around us and people that are Team Bonds Ranch, that just giving more people besides Jordan, letting Jordan still be able to shine, but also letting those other people shine too.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's the best way if someone wants to breed to him to reach you?
So we are on Facebook. Facebook is generally the best way to get hold of us, but they also can reach out to SDP Buffalo Ranch, which is where he'll be standing, and they can get in contact with Alexis there. I very much so grew up with my exposure into the industry as a breeder. Alvin Foltz was a very big inspiration, and because this was a Foltz horse, having access to him, I learned and saw that very early in my career. And then also a lot of the ways that Shane Plummer handles things too, that I got to have some of that touch point of what it's like for a breeder like me, a small breeder, because we were breeding 5 to 10 mares when we got James, and when we bought his dam. And so I wanted the small breeder to be able to breed to a very top caliber stud without being concerned about breaking the bank, but be able to take that concept that gentlemen like Alvin Foltz, who kept that accessibility as the stallion owner. I still want people to be able to come and talk to me and tell me about your horse and send me pictures. Most of the conversations that I was having during the competition were actually we had a lovely lady in Idaho who came and found us at a show and had been talking to us on Facebook, and she was one of the first people outside of our network that basically said, I'm breeding to your stallion, and she was one of the first people who messaged me tonight. And I want to have those kinds of relationships where people feel like they're a part of Bonds Ranch, but we can also be a part of their success stories as their horses get to go into the show pen too.
Awesome. Well, this is such a cool story. I love it. Special thank you, April Bonds, for coming up. She's one of the owners of Bonds Ranch, and James Bond. Another big congratulations. Jordan Williams, world's greatest horseman. That sounds pretty great, doesn't it?
It does. It has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, love
you
it.
You get the best number in the world next
That's
year.
it. Number one.
Number one. The
No
yellow
pressure.
number.
No pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
No
pressure.
pressure.
Is there any way to sum up not only tonight but this entire competition? I know you did some winning too, but this is huge for the entire.
Bill Day had him a heck of a day yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a pretty decent
Open
day.
hack
Not
more
like yours.
champ, fourth in the bridle. That's a pretty good
That was
day
pretty
though.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was rooting for you, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was rooting for you.
Yeah,
Awesome
that's
to
awesome.
watch.
I can see the sum up is just, this is a breakout win for Jordan. I mean, he's been there and he's been doing it, but when you win the world's greatest, it's just it's such a recognizable title. And I think it's because there's so much that goes into it. Everybody knows it's 4 events, 1 horse, and it just makes it, I don't know, it's probably the most recognizable title. If I could only win
and probably
one more
the hardest.
thing,
Truthfully.
it would be the thing I would, if I only had one thing left to win, that's what it would be. And I'm just happy for you, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much.
You bet.
We're also happy for you. Well, we got to get Russell one of these rings, and we got to get you
Yeah, I
a
gotta get me a
diamond
new
tooth,
tooth.
and everybody will be set. But this has been so much fun. Congratulations again. Anything else you want to add?
No. Thank y'all very
Thank
much
y'all
for
very
having
much.
us.
Yeah, a dream come true tonight here at World's Greatest Horseman. It's been so fun to be a part of it. For Russell Dilday, I'm Amy Wilson. Drew Stu was up here earlier, and we really appreciate you all watching here at the EQN Sports Desk, driven by Holiday Auto Group.